Wonderhussy here, hanging out in Black Canyon on the Colorado River, just below the Hoover Dam, headed to check out one of my all-time favorite places, the Sauna Cave. Now this is a place that's kind of hard to get to because it's on the water and there's really only two ways to access it. You can hike down Gold Strike Canyon to the Gold Strike Hot Springs, and when the water is low enough, you can wade out to where all that marshy looking stuff is. That's actually an island, and you can walk almost the whole way here. But only if the water level is low enough. You know, they change the level of water that they release from the dam. But when the water level is high, like it is right now, it would be really difficult, if not impossible, to wade out there, and the current's moving pretty quickly, so it would be a struggle, and I'm not a very good swimmer. So the other way you can get to this sauna cave is by boat. I have another video up showing kayaking. You can rent kayaks or use your own kayaks and pay a fee to put in below the Hoover Dam. And then you just float downstream through Black Canyon, and you can stop right here at the Sauna Cave beach and check it out that way. But if you don't feel like kayaking, and I'm feeling kind of lazy today, you can also take a power boat upriver from Willow Beach. It's about 14 miles, and you can just pull right up here and moor in this little back eddy and get up to the Sauna Cave that way. So what I did today is, I'm with my friend Scott here in his Kawasaki Jetmate. I did a video about this boat before too, you can watch that. It's a cool little boat, it's a lot of fun, and it got us up here in no time flat. So now all we have to do is hike up this trail and we'll be at the Sauna Cave. Okay, so this Sauna Cave is like a 50-foot long tunnel that they bored back into the side of the rock face when they were building the Hoover Dam. And they accidentally hit a hot spring, and they didn't realize they were gonna hit a hot spring, so I guess they put the kibosh to the tunnel, and now this hot water runs through the tunnel. You'll see it when we go in there. And it's not that deep, it's probably only a few inches, but it kind of pools up at the entrance and makes for a nice little soaking spot. So I went ahead and changed into my bikini here so I can go for a soak. And I got my flashlight so I'll be able to see my way because it is pitch black in there. You'll see. It goes on for 50 feet and it goes around a bend. And once you go around that bend, it is darker than dark. Okay, so the first challenge is we got to scramble up this trail, which is fairly steep. You can see here, let me pan around. Here's a wide shot of the little boat we just cruised up in. It's the Kawasaki Jetmate. We moored it here, tied it to this tree, and now we just got to hike up this fairly steep trail. And aside from slipping, the other risk here is there's these mud wasps down here that are collecting mud for their nests. So I gotta be careful not to disturb them. Just go nice and slow. Okay, watch out, little wasps. I'm coming through. Just gonna move nice and slow and not disturb any of you. Now it's getting slippery on this trail, so I'm gonna hang on to this root here, pull myself up. Sorry if this footage is jerky, but you know, this is kind of tricky to do while holding a camera with one hand and wearing flip-flops, you know? Whew, okay, I made it up the trail. We're almost there. Steep little rest of the trail goes up here. There's a tiny little, I wouldn't even call it a beach, but there's an area where you could camp out here if you wanted. And there's the entrance to the Sauna Cave. Okay, like all the hot springs down here, they have a warning sign posted about this flesh-eating amoeba, Naegleria fowleri. This kind of amoeba that lives in water above a certain temperature, and it can only enter through your nose. So it's perfectly safe to soak in hot springs or even Lake Havasu, any kind of shallow, warmer watered lake. As long as you don't put your nose underwater or inhale any water into your sinuses, you'll be fine. But I guess they have to put this sign up because of people in their lawsuits. Okay, now we can hike up the rest of the way into the Sauna Cave. You can hear the sound of the hot, look at that hot river pouring down out of that cave. This is amazing. This is a man-made cave. Like I said, it goes back 50 feet. They blasted it into the canyon wall here, and then they hit this hot water. And you can see it flows through at a pretty good pace back down into the icy cold Colorado. And speaking of the Colorado, I mean, look at the side of the canyon over there. That's some tough rock to blast through. You can imagine the TNT power it took to blast this sauna cave, you know what I mean? Okay, let's just climb up a little bit closer. See how hot this water is. It's been a while since I've been in here. Last time I was in here, it was pretty hot. And you can kind of see steam rising off of it, even though it's a hot day today. It's like in the 90s. So this water must be really hot. Look how spooky the cave is in there. You can see the water in the bottom. Ooh, it's gonna be so nice and warm to wade through. Climbing up into the sauna cave. Wow. Ooh. Oh, wow. Whew. This water is hot, but it's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. It's really a nice temperature. Maybe, I didn't bring my thermometer again, but probably in the 90s, mid-90s. Feels amazing. And look, we can go all the way back into this cave to the very end. I think there's all kind of like stalactites coming down, or stalagmites. I always forget which is which. But you can see in the cave how the water level rises and falls. I'm not sure depending on what, but it looks like it actually gets pretty deep sometimes. But right now, look, it's pretty deep. It's like all the way to my knees almost. I mean, I've been in here before and it was only a few inches deep, so I think it might get shallower the farther we go back, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to go back into this sauna cave, this creepy, spooky, pitch black sauna cave. You guys brave enough to come with me to the very end? Oh my God, you guys, it's so creepy walking through this cave. You can see we're almost to where it turns a corner. That's the corner there. And once we go around this corner, it is going to be pitch black. Look at this. Cannot see a dang thing. I guess it's time for me to turn on my light. Whoa, look how cool this cave is. You guys probably thought I was making it up, that it goes back 50 feet. But it really does. I'm not sure why they were boring this tunnel into the side of the canyon for the dam when they were building it, but for whatever reason, I'm glad they did it. Because this sauna cave, I mean, it is hot and steamy in here. Apologies if the viewfinder gets fogged up, but it's, I mean, like I said, the water's maybe only in the 90s, but because we're in this confined cave, it's really steamy in here. Oh wow, look, we're almost at the end already. Didn't seem so scary after all, right? I mean, the scariest part is the ground is a little bit treacherous and uneven, so you just gotta watch where you step. But look, it did get a lot more shallow back here. In fact, here at the very end, there's only an inch or two. Wow, look how cool this is way at the back. I've read online, like back in the day, there used to be a little bench back here. You could sit down and hang out, but some vandals must have taken it out in the Park Service. Wow, look, yeah, it's all this like mineral buildup at the very back of the cave. Like, I guess it's not really stalactites or stalagmites, it's just mineral buildup. But it's super cool, like it's all lumpy and calcified. Oh, it's so cool. It's the back of the sauna cave. Woo! Oh man, the acoustics in here are amazing. You know what I like to do in here though? It's kind of fun to just sit here in pitch blackness and make weird noises because of the acoustics. We lay, my love and I, beneath the weeping willow, and now alone I lie. A willow I die, a willow I die. Ha 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 ha. That's some creepy song from this creepy old movie I saw once. It's getting too spooky in here. I gotta get out of here. Turn my light on. Oh my God, I bet my makeup is completely melting off my face because it's so steamy in here. But oh my God, it's so cool. Hey, maybe I should try to walk out in the pitch black. How does that sound? Are you guys game? If I turn my light off and we just try to feel our way out of here? Okay, we're gonna walk out in pitch darkness. It's probably not a very exciting video because you can't see anything yet. But once we round that bend, we'll see the daylight. In fact, we'll see the daylight even before we get to the bend. It's Should be interesting. Right now, we're just walking along. If you can put yourself here with me in pitch darkness, you can hear the water dripping off of the walls and the ceiling of this creepy tunnel, cave. The walls, I'm kind of running my hand along them to guide the way, and the walls are lumpy and covered in minerals. They're kind of warm, I guess. And the air is really thick and steamy and hot. Oh, look, it's a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, and now I'm stepping into water again. The water is getting deeper. You can hear my feet sloshing. Okay, now we're getting closer to the entrance. The water feels cooler up here. It was much hotter. Even though there wasn't much water in the back of the tunnel, it was hotter, because I guess that's the source where it's coming out of the side of the mountain. Okay, this is where it turns a corner, and we're going to go back into broad daylight. You're probably going to see my friend sitting there. Oh my God, we're almost back. Almost back to sweet fresh air, sweet daylight, life, happiness, joy. Oh, wow. Yep, there's my friend Scott sitting at the entrance, looking out over the beautiful Colorado River as it flows down Black Canyon from the Hoover Dam. Whew! Man, they don't call that a sauna cave for nothing. It was hot in there. I'm sweating, my makeup all melted off. I'd love to come up here someday and just stay in the cave all day, like stay in the cave till I get so hot and steamy that I can't handle it anymore, and then run down the trail and plunge into the ice cold river. Try to stay in there for as long as I can, and then climb back up when I get cold and go back in the sauna cave until I get hot and steamy, and back and forth, hot cold therapy. That'd be really fun to do. But today I only had time for a quick trip in there, but it's a great place, and I definitely recommend checking this out if you do a kayak trip in Black Canyon, or if you have a powerboat and you're able to launch from Willow Beach. This is definitely in my probably at least top 10 most unique, interesting things to do in the area around Vegas. It's a trip.